Fair use. Let's go.
Let's get into the topic that everyone really wants to know about, which is where the heck is Legend of the White Dragon? Why hasn't that been released? Why isn't that out?
Well, I can side with.
Now, once he said that, I knew it was going to get lip service. Horrible acting. Hey, if you want to see his acting, we'll show it next. I knew it was going to be lip service. I think you guys knew it was going to be lip service, but let's let them give us this lip service as if it's going to be something new. Like if it's going to be like some huge revelation, they're like, oh my God, they said this and we took that from the video.
With them because I can say over the last 4 years, it's like a two-sided coin with me. On one side, it's been a lot of hard work and just like, just anxiety. And then on the other side, it's a great film. I'm really proud of the way everyone has persevered because we've been through so many ups and downs, mostly a lot of downs. And it was a tremendous amount of hard work on everybody, especially you and me and Nikolai, who did the special effects.
I love that he said that. He said it was a lot of hard work for you and me and Nikolai, who did the special effects. You know what that means? That means the special effects are capped out at Nikolai's skill set, at Nikolai's computer power, processing power, at Nikolai's rate. You take $1 million film and you give it to the guy who's been working on projects for thousands of dollars. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because you could, hey, we saved on special effects. Yeah, you look at the movie, it shows.
To eventually tops and downs, mostly a lot of downs, and it was a tremendous amount of hard work on everybody, especially you and me and Nikolai, who did the special effects, to eventually tie all the loose ends together. This film had so many loose ends that story-wise, just even production, the way that the picture looked, it had a lot of fixing up to do. And then after he unfortunately passed away, we started to edit, put the assembly together, and then you see what's working and what's not working. And there was a lot of things that weren't working, but we had to keep everything we shot at Jason because we no longer had him to shoot more footage with him. So we had to let's see what can we keep everything at Jason, and let's now reconfigure the story, a lot of the dialogue, so it all ties together and has a flow. Because the story, because it comes in on the story comes in on like a prequel or a sequel.
I think there was a cut right there. I think there may have been a cut because sometimes the father goes off.
So I wouldn't give away too many spoilers. I mean,
so father was like, hey, I think it came in on a prequel or sequel, right? He look, watch it. Father gets cut off.
Ties together and has a flow because the story, because it comes in on the story comes in on like a prequel or a sequel.
So I wouldn't give away.
That's a cut. He cut. That was a cut. So dad kept going off script, and this is Aaron trying to reel him back in. Hey, I wouldn't give away too many spoilers. His dad was in the middle of something. That wasn't just like he wasn't finished with his thought. But Aaron cut it. He cut it out the interview or the podcast.
Away too many spoilers. I mean, they're out there if people want to watch them. But as far as where the film is, and you're talking about the ups and downs, and it was we shot this during COVID, and we were lucky enough to shoot through COVID, but a lot of people don't know because the film is SAG, it's union, and you have to abide by union rules. So essentially, I think a little more than 10% of the budget had to go to COVID protections, and we had no say in that. If we didn't follow the rules, the film would be shut down.
Okay, but the fact is they still had permission to shoot during COVID. There was no delays because of it. But he's going to try to sell you on there being delays because the limited time that they had to film and the rules they had to abide by. What he really doesn't want to say is there was no real stoppage in production. It was a 90-day total shoot. That's what I was told. A 90-day total shoot. So make that make sense.
Yeah.
And how that slowed us down is just using 10% of the budget, basically cut down on the amount of days that we could shoot, because basically we had like 4 extra days planned, but that budget had to go to actually, shooting the movie. And then also we were given a set time we could shoot, because the initial shoot that we did with Jason, we shot like I think it was like 24 days within 28 days.
Yeah.
Which is insane. You know, like that's 4 days off, you know, amongst, and a lot of the crew obviously had the day off because they weren't needed every day. You and me were needed every day. Jason was pretty much needed every day. You know, Chris, our executive producer, was there every day. Ben Dukes, our AD and co-producer, was there every day. And it was so rigorous and it was really hard.
I forget, how many days did we shoot?
I think around 24, Ben would know the answer to that, but I remember it was just exhausting. It was exhausting, and you're shooting, you know, 12-hour days, 14-hour days. Luckily, you know, Ben and Jason were able to match the energy, because what a lot of people don't know is just like, you know, you're on set 12 or 14 hours. That doesn't, you know, count, because, you know, that you have to wake up, prep, drive through LA traffic, which is like an hour and a half. And then what I do a lot is, you know, I'll come home and I'll edit everything we shot that day, so I know exactly what to shoot the next day. So, you know, we would get to set. We'd usually be about an hour late, you know, because I'd be so exhausted. I get home, I edit for 4 hours, get 2 hours of sleep, go back to set, that's not totally uncommon on films, as you know, but in this case, it was exhausting. So and I say all this because when we eventually took all this footage and edited it together and did, you know, the assembly cut, which, you know, a lot of movies do. I mean, all movies do assembly cut because they need to. You get preliminary shooting, or it's not preliminary. It's called
Is the assembly cut what was shot to Netflix? It was really the sizzle reel that was sent to Netflix, Hulu, and Paramount.
Principal photography done, which doesn't include everything, because there were still days to shoot with Jason, and there was still audio, like his ADR.
Now, here's the thing, right? Speaking of Jason, this is a text message, right? As he keeps saying, the film wasn't ready. We had to do reshoots. Yada, 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 yada. Well, someone sent me this. Now, you could take it with a grain of salt if you want or not, or you could call it AI or silly conspiracy theories. But this is a conversation between Jason David Frank, Amy Jo Johnson, and David Yost. Now, I guess this is Amy saying David has to be the writer and not with some dumb Power Rangers Down Under productions. Something different and new, so there are no claws. Anyway, that's all, folks. Love you both. I mean, unless they pay me $100 million. This is talk to the 30th. Now, what does Jason say? Let's look at it. Let's analyze what Jason says. No more business talk for me. Sorry if I offend you all. My movie comes out March 23rd, so this has to be circa 2022, right? This has to be circa 2022. If Jason is saying my movie comes out March 23rd, which would be in 2023. In only 300 theaters, but either Netflix, Hulu, or Paramount Plus. I think this was the deadline deal, or maybe something that he was promised. You know, sometimes people get promised these things. I am now branding Eric Reed. Leveled though we leave the show, we will always be labeled, so I'm trying hard to break it. No more Power Ranger talk. That's just my 2 cents. What else did he say? I can't do the show anyway. Conflicts with Legend of the White Dragon. Without me and Amy, that won't get the ratings. 30-year tanks. Stock goes up in Legend of the White Dragon. Done deal. I'm out. So, why would Jason tell Amy and David Yost that the movie was coming out in March 23rd, 2023, if they still needed to keep filming? All right. Yes, correct. This text is between Amy, David, and JDF regarding Once and Always. Power Rangers 30th anniversary. Her texts are in regards to what it would take to get her to do Power Rangers. Absolutely. So she was joking. She wasn't doing it. And Jason was like, hey, I got a movie coming out. I ain't doing it. And if it tanks, hey, Legend of the White Dragon stock goes up. And they knew it was going to tank because they didn't have them in it. So there goes something more for you. But let's get back to Aaron talking about how the movie wasn't completed and it needed more time. Let's hear his explanation.
And we put the assembly cut together. We realized, man, there are holes in this movie or things that work and didn't work. Very similar to the most recent Captain America movie. You know, they had to do, I think, like an additional 35, 40 day shoot on that because when they put the cut together, it just didn't work. They thought it would.
he always compares himself to all these other films, these bigger budget films with bigger studios, and say, see, look, they're doing the same thing that we have to do. It's apples and oranges, man. The difference is they didn't take money from Kickstarters who are upset. When you started the campaign, I don't remember you saying that us getting the movie depended on you securing a cinema release. I certainly didn't agree to that. This was made for home release movie. You are now ignoring us while making a new campaign. Are you going to con those backers as well? Will you ever release the Superpower Beatdown because you want to show around for a TV release, even though you never said that in the campaign? Yeah, a lot of people who donated to the campaign got bait and switched by this guy. You guys don't matter. Hey, we got more money coming in. You guys were the seed money, but let's keep it going.
These are highly professional artists, and it just didn't work, and that's kind of normal. But when we did it, because of the restrictions that we had, one of the biggest problem, and I even hate to say problem, it was Jason's passing. Because normally you look at it and go, oh, we can write scenes and fill this in, but we didn't have Jason.
Yeah, when we were filming during COVID, we had no idea. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, where we were at, and it's probably the best thing we didn't know how arduous the journey was going to be.
Yeah,
because the undertaking, looking back on it, is just like it's unbelievable that we've got to where we are today, and the film looks as good as it does.
What a lot of fans, I don't think know this, but and obviously in our minds we were never gonna give up on the movie. Obviously, we're gonna complete it, but you have to ask yourself the real question: can we complete it? And
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Jason said it was complete right here, right? Hold on, let's see if it loads. You guys remember this? You guys remember this clip? You got to remember it, right?
Guys, first of all, I want to thank you guys. Serena, you're awesome. You're so talented. And this is Jenna's first day.
First day on set.
And I gotta tell you, Aaron, directors, everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sometimes when I get like that in my head, I'm a little whatever. But Sean, thank you. Chris, thank you for allowing Jenna and Serena to be in the movie. Because I tell you what, this is the sequel trio right here. So I wanted to thank you guys, and Chris, thanks for allowing that. And I think it's exhausting, but you guys did a truthfully amazing job. Jenna, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Yeah. And how do you feel?
So imagine that. I guess she shot her stuff in one day. I'm sure she came back for reshoots.
Working with Serena, because she always wanted to work with her from even stuck in the middle. She auditioned for that show. She never got it. She was depressed. And the point is telling you guys that magic will happen and things will happen at your own time. And here we are years later, and Jenna finally gets to work with a mom she wanted to work with years ago. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Ben, for being so mean. Please not mean.
He's about to say the movie's picture locked. It's done.
Anyway, I'm going to turn it over, and Aaron, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Dukes because he's got a lot to say.
Oh, yeah, I got a whole lot to say. Guys, really all I got to say is, first of all, that's a picture wrap of Miss Serena Vincent, so thank you so much.
I've always wanted to work
Man, it's so much fluff. It's like 30 more seconds, though.
with you guys and you, and it all came together in this magical way. So thank you.
Awesome to be part of it. Thanks for being here. And from the Reed family and the Frank family, guys, day 21, that's a wrap!
So this is them celebrating completing the filming, and we saw the text message where he said, hey, it's coming out. But let's get back to Aaron trying to convince us that, hey, we couldn't do it on time or whatever because Jason was gone.
And because it's like you have to go through everything. You're like, are there too many holes? Are there too many hurdles? And you, me, and Chris were like, and for those who don't know, Chris is our executive producer, our investor, and he came in and he wanted to make sure to do whatever financially to make sure the film got finished, and the film would definitely not gotten finished without him. So we powered through, but it was like you were saying, it was so hard, even from that point. Like, how do you put all these pieces together, whilst keeping as much as you can of Jason?
Yeah. If do you think if Jason had lived, the film would have been finished sooner?
Now, here's the thing. I think this was a planted question, like, hey, make sure you ask this question, Dad. So I could be like, it's a softball question. Yeah, if he was here, it would have definitely been done. We would have had him here for reshoots, and I wouldn't have had to put myself in the movie so much. Yeah, of course, Dad. Like, is this a genuine conversation?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because after we did the assembly cut, he would be available. You're basically, you put the puzzle together and you realize the pieces you're missing. And with him being the star, you're like, oh, we can fill those in with him. And that's, like same thing when they shot, Captain America 4, they brought Anthony Mackie back who played Falcon, and they were able to shoot a bunch of stuff. Just imagine having to now to piece the movie together without him there, how difficult that was for us. So, we had to bring a lot of other actors back. We had to make Mark Dacascos' scenes, put more of him in the movie, put more David Ramsey in the movie, put more of my character in the movie.
The movie is about him. I'm happy he admitted it, right? Because the last person who gave me Legend of the White Dragon spoilers said, hey, the movie is literally Aaron Schoenke featuring Jason David Frank. Now you got him basically using the fact that Jason was gone and letting you guys know in advance, I'm more in the movie because Jason is gone. We put everyone more in the movie. No. Do you think the guy who replaced Nightwing with himself did that before, artistic choices, or he wanted to put himself in the movie? You think the guy who plays, his words, the best Joker in Paul Monar with himself because it was our artistic choice, or he wanted to put himself in the movie? So he has this history of inserting himself in projects. He's like the Puff Daddy of fan films, if you will. And he keeps inserting himself in the movie. So you mean to tell me this guy who's at the helm has 100% creative control of a movie is not going to use Jason David Frank's death as an opportunity to insert himself more and justify it because, hey, well, he's gone. We got to get the movie together. He put more of himself into it. 100%. And the only people who know are likely the people who had scenes with Jason David Frank that he 100% cut out the movie. And the only way he'll get outed is if those people, one, see Legend of the White Dragon and say, hey, wait, I was removed, my scene with Jason. And then they come forward and say it because he's been LARPing like, oh, we had to keep all the footage with Jason in it. But I'm sure there's plenty of footage that he cut out with Jason in it. He'd be lying if he said he didn't.
But more pretty much of everyone in the movie, just because, there wasn't like enough. Because I know that when we shot and finished with Jason, the original assembly cut, the runtime, I think was like about an hour or like an hour and 10 minutes. And now the runtime's it's closer to an hour and 30. So
we had to add 20 minutes of extra footage. But you knew it was a feature film. You knew the time was, 90 minutes. And you still cut it at an hour and 10 it just made sense at an hour and 10. He really dropped a pod blaming the dead guy for the delays. # best friends. Oh my God. He's Puff Daddy. And Jason David Frank is Biggie. But salute to you, man. I appreciate the dono, man. Appreciate you. I saw you were streaming, but I had to get on, man. Had to get on. We're gonna leave that up there for a minute.
So, and for it to be a feature, it has to be an hour and 30. So like we got to get to being a feature. Because that's what we promised to the fans. That's what everything. So we got to get it there. So we increased everyone's role in the movie, which was also tough. And then there was the writer's strike, and we had to go through all that and apply for that. And that also was kind of a time crunch. Yeah. I know we did 2 rounds of reshoots. We did 1 round, and then
now when we get to the spoilers, we're going to talk about sex scenes that we already know was part of one of his reshoots.
And that's when we announced, I think, our first release date. That's when we were like, it's happening, And also, I mean, we were obviously like, premature in announcing that release date, but we just wanted to try to get some forward momentum because we felt we were so behind the 8 ball with just having Jason pass and everything. Like, no, we have to make this work. And the fans were like, they wanted to know the film was happening. So
it just doesn't make any sense, right? Why would Jason say, hey, film's coming out on the 23rd while he's alive, shooting this to Amy Jo, David Yost, and then when he passed, he's like, oh, we got to do reshoots.
We underestimated the time.
Right.
The release date. Many times we kept thinking it would be ready in 6 months, a year. Then it got pushed back another year. And it got to a point where I couldn't say another date because we were faltering on our release date. And, and I was frustrated.
Oh, 100. Yeah. I mean, I was too. And that's kind of thing is the fans are frustrated.
But that's the thing though. His son kept saying date after date. It's coming out in 2023. Well, Jason said 2023. Then Jason passed. This guy said 2024. It's definitely coming out in 2024. Then he said 2025. Now he's like, we're hoping for February 2026. He has no idea when it's coming out. When he could have easily released it back in July when it was finished and just, took the losses on the chin.
I'm like, but no one's more frustrated than you, me, and Chris in terms of trying to get this movie out because, he's putting money into it. We're putting our time into it. We can't work on other projects. And we're like, and you want this to be so good. You want this to be good for Jason and you.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag because, Jason's a good friend of ours. And we just wanted to make sure that he had a really good film for his last, what people are going to remember him for, largely.
Bro, when they were feminists, they had no idea Jason was going to take his life. They had no idea. No idea. No idea.
For this and his years as being a Power Ranger. But this was it. We had to make sure this
They thought this film would lead to more films. That's what they were hoping for.
film was, because I couldn't live without it if it wasn't good.
No, I couldn't either. I mean, not even for the sake of Bat in the Sun or our careers or anything like that, just for Jason's sake. Because, he'd been wrong so many times or taken advantage of, and he wanted something that was his own. And, he tried to work with the other.
People will never remember him as in JDF for Legend of the White Dragon. True. All of the talk for Legend of the White Dragon has been revolving around Aaron. No one else.
Studios with something that was his own and it didn't work out, or he was promised things that was never given to him. And with this one, I was like, well, this is ours, Jason, and this is, something you can be proud of, that you can have control over and do what you want. So it's like, you want to see the film become all the things that he hoped and wanted to be. I think people underestimate or don't understand like the personal side of this film for us. How
For us and for
for us. Personal. It was a check, man. Chris J was giving you money, dog. He was giving you money. That's what the personal side was. Personal.
Jason?
Well, for us being that we're so close with Jason and like having to see him every day in editing and like how that like is like weirdly kind of like it's like a weird perception. I've said this before.
Think about this, right? We wanted to make this movie so good for Jason. We cut him out the film. We cut scenes with other people with him out the film because we wanted it to be the best for Jason. Like in the end, like when we get to the spoilers, they're going to say like Jason in the movie, like 20 minutes, 8 scenes, 25 if you count the helmet scenes where who knows is under the helmet. What do you say to that? What do you say to that, Aaron? Well, you haven't seen the movie. It's still about him, even if he's in there 5 minutes. He said that. He literally said that to someone who asked him in the comments section, oh, the movie is still about him, even if he's in there less. Like, wait, what? Wait, he's in there less than you? And you're trying to convince me it's about him?
I mean, after he passed away.
Yeah, because, dear friend, really sad, we were all bawling our eyes out at his funeral.
Aaron did exactly what Hasbro and Saban was accused of doing, promising them one thing and delivering another. That's what I'm betting. I'm betting when y'all see it, then we can see it. Then we can compare the runtime. We can compare the spoilers. We can see if my insiders are right or wrong.
And it was like this sort of like really, it's just very emotional. I get like the whole thing is, very emotional. But then it's like seeing him every day because when you edit, it feels like you're hanging out with this person. And so you're like, you see, like it's still.
Here's the thing, right? This is how you know they full of cap, right? If you're seeing him every day when you're editing, how are you seeing him every day when you're editing if he's not in the movie that much? How? If he's in there like 20 minutes, if this person who saw the movie says, hey, Jason's in there 20 minutes out of a 90-minute film and Aaron's in there most of it, way more than 20 minutes, how are you seeing Jason every day when he only has 8 scenes? The math ain't mathing. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's just someone sending me an email saying A, B, C, and D, but we haven't seen the film to validate the email. But I love that we have him on the record saying, hey, I had to see Jason every day. So if he says, I had to see Jason every day, and you see the movie, and Jason's only in there 20 minutes, and you see more of Aaron, then what he really meant was he was seeing himself every day. He was looking at himself every day. He was editing himself every day. Because Jason's film was done. There was no more reshoots. It was done. We took this out. We can't do anything better with that. He was looking at himself every day, putting more of himself in the film. Like, you have to start thinking. Think about that. Just think about it.
still feels like he's very much like alive and present, and like how that's kind of like a weird like mindset. You know, it's like kind of wonderful. And since the film's been done, and I knew this was going to happen, I don't see him every day now. And like in the last couple of months, it's almost felt prevalent now that he's gone.
Stop the
You know,
cap.
just how emotionally it was just, you know, like,
Bro, this is like Diddy talking about Biggie Smalls being gone, and then they out Diddy for making the Biggie Smalls estate pay for the funeral when he was LARPing like he did it. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. These two idiots have top billing on the script. This didn't work. That didn't work. Even before Jason died, maybe filmmaking just ain't a Schoenke trait. Might be time to dust off the CV for Domino's. Bro, the only thing he is delivering hot and ready is his wife on a platter for other men to goon to. But yeah, I'm with you, man. It's not in their suit. They've never put a movie out, Co. They have no idea what they're doing. But they'll tell you in a heartbeat, you never made a feature film. And you're like, dude, I just could film myself for 90 minutes. That's a feature film, right? That's a feature film, right? And Ryushi says he was whacking it to himself every day. Probably, man. Probably. Oh, I did so good in this scene. And you had his dad hyping him up, man. It's like the blind leading the blind. Like, yeah, Aaron, you're a good actor. You got Veer, his acting coach. That's his acting coach and assistant director. Bro.
you watch certain
it's a
scenes.
grieving process that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
And right now, because our time with editing him, seeing him, you doing the video, me on the sound, those days are behind us now because the film is complete.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of experiencing our process of grieving kind of right now because the days are moving on past and we don't see him as much.
Right. And it's you know, it's tough. Like, I mean, a lot of times I'll get mad at him in my brain for not being here, but obviously that's a kind of a silly thing, but it's like, you know, just,
I mean, can we talk about Jason on the set?
You're like, Dad, what do you mean talk about him on the set? You see that look on his face? This wasn't part of the script, but go for it, Dad. What great story are you going to tell?
oh yeah, we definitely can. I mean, Jason was great on set. I mean, he was, you know, committed and he loved it. You know, there's a lot of wonderful things about Jason. I mean, he definitely wore his heart on his sleeve, and his emotions were right there. I mean, the whole movie is about Jason. Like, when people watch the movie, they'll be surprised at how much.
I think when people watch the movie, they'll be surprised how much it's about Aaron and not so much about Jason. That's what I think. But he'll say this lip service and say, oh, it's so much about Jason. Is it? Is it, Jai?
About Jason. I mean, he definitely wore his heart on his sleeve, and his emotions were right there. I mean, the whole movie is about Jason. Like, when people watch the movie, they'll be surprised at how much, you know, as Jason is in. And I know when Jenna and Tammy and Jason's close friends have watched the movie, they've been like, oh, that was really just Jason on screen, you know, because when he did Power Rangers, he was so he had to be, you know, Tommy, and he'd be up, and, you know, it's a kid's show, and that's great, but he's like, I want my tattoos to show, and I want to show that superheroes get depressed, that they have problems, that they need help, you know. And
Yeah. I remember him a lot of times just over in the corner before we started shooting.
Yeah, the dad is out the loop. He just flying from the cuff. He probably like, Henry Resilient who? He probably Henry Resilient who? I just want to play the piano and have my son rub on my stomach when it itches. That's all dad looking forward to.
He'd have the script in his hand and he'd be just kind of like just whispering his lines to himself, just kind of memorizing, getting his beats down so his performance showed his emotions, because he had a lot of emotions that he was internally struggling with.
Yeah.
He would put on a good face and be happy and be working really hard, but you could tell that when, you know, at the end of the day, or when we hit certain times, he would just, you know, there's those demons, you know, that would kind of like start to take over.
Yeah, and
There you go. Hey, demons would take over. You know why he was upset? He was upset with the level of production. He was upset that Aaron was showing up late to set hours. And not only would Aaron show up late to set, when he would show up to set, how do you think he dressed? How do you think Aaron showed up to set? You like, Henry, what does that have to do with anything? Well, he's supposed to be a professional, right? When you're a professional, you're trying to put out a professional product. You're not trying to put out no BS, right? I know how you would show up to set. I got it. I got it for you. I got it right here. Boom. There go Aaron showing up to set. Right there. What does he say? How do you fight the heat on hot days on set? Hey, just make it hotter. Just make it hotter. Bro, this is what he's showing up on set like. Bro, when this got announced, he knew like, oh, I'm about to milk. I'm about to milk it. I'm about to be rich. Got Chris J. goofy ass funding my life. Let's go.
And he kind of liked it because he wanted, like, Jason was, as a person, I mean, his poetry talked about how he wore a mask and he wasn't able to be who he was, but he wanted to be that. And Jason, I think, was able to be really honest through his art, which is true for a lot of artists. And there was a lot of moments that he could emote as Eric Reed that I think he had a hard time articulating in real life, which is why he loved this movie. And, he would always, because I would write out the dialogue, and a lot of times I kind of write, just kind of like, I don't say placeholder dialogue, but I'm like, Jason, say this how you want to say it. And then he would kind of go through and rewrite his dialogue, and he'd come back and he's like, I want to say it this way. And I was like, that's great. That's, your character, and his character is based off you. And, a lot of people don't know that my character is Jason. Basically, both our characters are kind of both Jason, his two different sides, and his inner conflict. And
that's Cap. This is Cap. According to the spoilers, this is Cap. Eric Reed is like a family man with a family. This dude is a rich, pompous, angry idiot. How are they two sides of the same coin? It's Cap. But see, you could say that when you ain't seen the movie. Hey, y'all ain't seen the movie. I could say the movie's about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I could say Jason's in there for 90 minutes. No helmet, no nothing, just doing hard nose acting. And I'm in there 5. He could say that because guess what? You ain't seen it. Oh, they're not part of the same coin. They're not two of the same coin. That couldn't be further from the truth. Jason has a family who we can't see his family. He lost his family. He's rich. He's some rich dude that cured cancer or something. This is not the same. Wait till we get to the spoilers and script. Just wait till we get to it.
When the movie comes out, we can talk more about that and dissect that. But as far as go back to what you were originally saying, Jason on set, he'd be wonderful. There's a great story I tell with one of our grips, where Jason, like a lot of celebrities don't fraternize with everyone. They kind of keep off to themselves. But he was not like that. He was moving lights. He was talking to everyone. And when Grip came in, and he, I think, I don't know if he like lost his dad, or it was a big deal. And he was like, oh, I called Jason last night, and he talked to me for like 2 or 3 hours. And people at home, I don't think know how rare that is, that like your lead actor talked to a grip, and that's not to downsize or disrespect the grips, because everyone's equally important. It's a village that makes these movies, but it's just very rare that, he was like that. So he was really open. But then Jason also, like you said, would have these kind of emotional breaks on set that you could see.
Frustration, not because of the movie, frustrated with him, frustrating with how he ran things as the quote unquote director, being late to set. You heard it in the audio that leaked. He would show up late to set, and it would take a long time to start filming. And then when he get to set, he's showing up there with his shirt off, like he's the man out there.
Sometimes that drive me crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Him and I got into a few arguments.
Yeah.
And sometimes Jason would just storm off, and it's just like, hey, we have work to do. You can't just storm off like that. But then
maybe he was storming off not to like punch one of these guys in the face. And sometimes that is good. Hey, you the bigger man. You walked away. You ain't punch him in the face. Sometimes maybe people need to get, I'm not advocating for violence, but sometimes.
The next day he'd come in and he'd be all apologetic, and he'd be real loving, and you couldn't help but be drawn to him.
Right.
Because Jason had a big heart.
He did.
There was just a lot of turmoil going on, but he could still open up his heart and listen. Yeah. Like you were saying, he would talk with the grips, all the people. He does that with fans in line.
Yeah,
to see
he's
him.
Great about that.
Yeah, Jason could empathize with a lot of people because he himself had been through a lot.
Yeah.
And so he had to just constantly keep his. That's why he said Jesus didn't tap, because he wanted to be there for everyone. I do feel a little guilty. I wish I had done more for him, or just been there a little bit.
Bro, man.
Stop the cap.
Like, I wish the people who knew and observed their relationship would really come forward and talk about it. You've heard people say it anonymously. These guys were not best friends. They didn't get that best friend vibe. But when only one person is here to tell the story, you could say, how was this best friend? No one knew him quite like me. He slept on my floor. Look at my picture. Look at him with my dad. We got along splendidly.
I
think everyone feels more guilty, especially in this sort of situation. But it's, I don't know what more, because we talked to him all the time. We were there for him. We had, there's a lot of things that I don't, I'd have to ask I'd have to talk with Tammy and Jenna to, to talk about publicly about Jason, but that just moments that we were there for him and when he was having a hard time and, and we're always, he stayed over at our place and we try to, offer as much as you can, but it's tough. It
was tough assembling this film.
Like, this is probably the best acting Aaron has ever done in his life, but no one's buying it as he acts like he was Jason's best friend and his death impacted him so deeply when literally it launched him into famedom. People actually cared about Aaron for 1 second. That's what it is. People actually cared about Aaron because JDF was gone and his final movie was in Aaron's hands.
Film, but just because of our emotional, love for Jason.
Yeah.
And we, just were presented with having to make the best film of him possible with what we had.
That was true to who he was.
True, he was. And I think we did.
Bro, he barely in the movie.
I think we did a bang up killer job on
a great job. I can't wait for people to watch it.
I can't wait for the fans to see this film.
Me too, man. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for everyone to see it so we can see it all, how bad it was. Aaron out here always talking for Jason all the time. Now he needs to ask Tammy and Jenna. Like, did y'all catch that? Like, did he ask Tammy and Jenna before saying this? Before doing this podcast? Before bringing them up?
Nope.
Hell no, man.
I think they're going to absolutely love it. They're going to want to rewatch it many times, and each time you'll get more out of it. You'll see a little bit more of it, and you'll see Jason for who he was, because a lot of who he was in this film is who he was in real life.
And I look forward to, once the film's out and people have seen it, really kind of diving into that. But yeah, the film is great. Everyone that we've had over that's part of the cast love it.
That's the thing, right? In order to see Legend of the White Dragon, you have to go over there. You have to take the picture. You have to say how good it is. He's not showing it at film festivals, because if he did that, the fans will see it. People who don't have a vested interest would see it. People who are not his friend and looking forward to using him for whatever opportunity he promised will see it.
The people that we've shown at distribution love it. And that kind of gets back to like, well, where is the movie? Why is the movie out? If it's done, why isn't it out? Stuff like that. And it's in the hands of our distribution team and actively looking for the best route. Some people are like, is it going to be on Netflix?
It's not going to be on Netflix.
Nope.
No, it's not up to Netflix quality. Now watch him trash Netflix to try to get you to think that Netflix was never an option. They're not going to give us no money. He's a crook.
Is it going to be on Peacock?
No.
Yeah, well, we thought we had.
Has a beatdown ever been on Peacock? No. I mean, I get it. I know Jason said, hey, it's going to be on, Netflix, Hulu, or Paramount Plus. Doesn't sound like he had a deal locked in. And Aaron could have been promising him that.
Some of these distribution deals wrapped up earlier during the filming. And just like how the film kept getting pushed back.
There go Dad deviating from the script. We had distribution deals wrapped up earlier. Did you? Did you have any contracts?
Nope.
Did you see a contract with a distributor on it? No. So did Aaron say, hey, we're dealing with Fallen Forward Films. They're going to get us a 300 or a 25 theater movie deal. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're saying? Like, hey, we got this 25 market deal that we're going to bring to fruition with Fallen Forward Films. We're going to launch it in the fall of 2023. Went from March 2023. Remember this? Remember that? Remember that? No, they had nothing. They never had anything. Just promises.
For a variety of reasons.
Right, because the film just kept taking long.
And it just kept taking long. And
we just didn't want to rush.
Unfortunately, we had to keep pushing everything back, and and just deal with the consequences. This is the fallout of it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line was, I kept saying we got to finish the film, and it's got to be great because that will fix everything in the end.
Yeah, it's like a sports team. Winning fixes everything.
Yeah. So and that's where we are now. And the film,
it's like but they're not winning though, man.
Film does look great. Distribution is we have a lot of other people looking at distribution right now, and the deals. Because
did you hear that? We got a lot of other people looking at distribution. Pretty much, if I came to Aaron right now and said, hey, I think I got a buyer for it. I think we're going to sell it to Nerd Affiliated for $3 million. He'd be like, really? And I'm like, yeah, if I bring that deal to you, I want my cut. You're going to have to give me a cut. That's how distribution works. Like if you got a distribution agent, they're not working for free. They're kind of like a real estate agent. They're going to sell your house for a commission. Same with the movie. That's what Fallen Forward Films is. Hey, we're going to find you a distributor. We got relationships, but it's hard to find a distribution or a distributor to buy this film when it's one, it's bad. Two, you owe 4,800 people digital and some of them physical copies. There's no market for it. There's no market for it.
Fixes everything.
Yeah. So, and that's where we are now. And the film does look great. A distribution is
Like, think about it, right? Nerd Affiliated point this out. There were 5,000 people who donated to Legend of the White Dragon. Only 395 people donated to Griffwatch. That's a huge drop off. That it's over. You could say you're looking for distribution till you're blue in the face. No one cares. No one cares.
we have a lot of other people looking at distribution right now, and the deals, because Chris came in, put a
sizable amount of money in there, millions of dollars.
Yeah,
millions of dollars,
and it just raised the stakes on
how this film had
the whole film. And
yeah.
we're new at this here, but we're glad that the film can be.
Wait, y'all new at this here? Wait, what? I thought y'all did this before. You know what you're doing, right? Y'all are experts.
Nope.
Put a
sizable amount of money in there, millions of dollars.
Yeah,
millions of dollars,
and it just raised the stakes on
how this film had
the whole film. And
yeah.
we're new at this here, but we're glad that the film can be bumped up to another level.
Yeah,
and
it looks great. I mean, even that we know, like we had Lenore and Chrissy.
It looks great. How can it look great when you got the same guy who been doing the special effects for God knows how long with the same goddamn computer? I think it looks. I am going to go out on a limb and say it's going to look horrible. I think it's going to look just like all the beatdowns, just like this. It's going to look just like this with this shit right here. Right here, it's just going to look just like this. Green screen background. This looks great. For $4 million, why didn't you hire a special effects team? That's a great question. Why you ain't hire a special effects team if you had $1 million budget?
Were over and they were really surprised, and they were on set and like, man, this looks great. Like you're kind of like stuck between like satisfying like three different sides. You know, you got to get the movie out to the Kickstarters and the backers.
Hey, look, Kickstarter and backers, y'all are last. You guys don't matter. Thank you. They got your money. He got the bag.
Gotta get my bag and run.
Who cares? Keep crying in the comments section. Keep crying at Kickstarter. Money's gone. You ain't getting it back.
You have to do that. That's the priority. You got to do that. At the same time, you got to get the movie out.
And like he used buzzwords like priority. You are not, look, how are you a Kickstarter priority when you're the last in line? Hey, the first person we want to make sure we get right is Chris J. He put the millions in. Not the people who put the seed money in to film the trailer, or no, I think they put their own money up to film the trailer. They put their own money up to film the trailer, but they used that $500,000 when they were only asking for $100,000 to say, "Hey, Chris J, look, man, we got a movie going on. It's going to be great. Look at our millions of views on YouTube. We're solidified." And you're like, "Hey, where's those reviews? Where's those millions of views now?" Well, if you think about it, if you combine X with Facebook and the shorts and the reels and Instagram, we getting 1 million views still. Well, didn't y'all used to just count YouTube views? Yeah, but things change, Chris. Things change, man. We just count everything now. But even with you counting everything, you're not getting the same amount of views as your previous videos got with just YouTube. Yeah, you know, this algorithm is changing, man. Everything is changing, Chris.
Out into the world, you know, it's got to be bigger than just the Kickstarters. You know, Jason wanted the whole world to see it. He wanted it on the screen. He wanted people to see it. He wanted a movie.
True.
So it's like, all right, we got to do that. And also that's important to help Chris start to get back his investment, which is a process, and then hopefully eventually make enough profit so that the Frank estate, Jen and Tammy, see a profit, and it helps them because Jason wanted that as well. So it's like, how do you do that? And
You don't, man. Unfortunately, Jason picked the wrong guy. He picked the wrong guy at the helm for his movie. He picked the guy who was accused of embezzling from Valiant Comics. Remember the audio was like, yo, he would say that scenes cost $12,000 and then he was getting the location for free or $200 a day. And he was like, hey, did you see any of that money? Jason was like, no, I didn't. Check for the audio. The link to that will be in the bio.
You know, we'd love to hand the movie off right away to the Kickstarters because they've been waiting the longest on it. But that could destroy a distribution deal, because when distribution grabs it, they want to make sure they're the first ones to have it. And basically, when we get that locked in, then we go, okay, because we've had distribution deals where they wanted complete control over it, and we'd be like, no, like the Kickstarters and the backers, they have to get the movie too. But so it's like you're having to like kind of go back and forth and turn away deals where you're like, no, like it has to do this, it has to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's far more complicated than people know, and the industry is like constantly changing. I mean,
Well, it's changed more in the last, probably a couple of years, with AI now on the scene, and movie theaters have kind
AI
of, since
got to do with
COVID, kind of
this.
been under attack, or just not generating the revenue they used to.
and then there was the rise of streaming, but there's also kind of the fall of streaming, because like before, like
Here we go. I think this is where he goes in on Netflix.
back during COVID, Netflix and Peacock and all these places were really, they're just churning out money for content because everyone's at home. But now it's the opposite. Like no one wants to put their film on Netflix or all these places because they're just not paying anything. Like anyone.
What? Tell that to Stranger Things. Tell that to Squid Games. Tell that to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, whose movie come out in January. Netflix has some major blockbusters on there. Tell that to The Gray Man. Oh, that was a good movie. Like people with good products who Netflix see the value in. Tell that Tell that to Happy Gilmore. Tell that to Happy Gilmore 2. Man, tell that to Frankenstein. Yeah, they don't want to put their films on Netflix. Yeah, he just capped out, man. No one wants to put their films on Netflix. Bro, what? What? Tell that to Bird Box, who won an Oscar. Or didn't it? Or wasn't it Oscar nominated? Yeah, Jay Kelly and George Clooney. Come on, man. Netflix is churning out money for content. They're going in debt for content. They're trying to buy Warner Brothers right now. This is how you know he's full of it. Like, no one wants to put their movies on Netflix. Like, wait, what? Shit. Adam Sandler, like, all my movies going on Netflix.
Netflix and Peacock and all these places were really, they're just churning out money for content because everyone's at home. But now it's the opposite. Like no one wants to put their film on Netflix or all these places because they're just not paying anything. Like anyone could get their movie on Netflix right now, but you're not gonna they're not doing anything. Netflix is in debt, like I think like $20 billion. So really like,
yeah, and they're about to go in more debt. They don't care shit about the debt. Look, tell that the K-pop Demon Hunters. If K-pop Demon Hunters went with the theaters, it would have been $1 billion movie. But hey, guess where it's at? It's on Netflix. People do want their stuff on Netflix, but Netflix has a quality threshold, and they're not taking Aaron Schoenke's 90-minute self-grandized beatdown. It's Aaron Schoenke's goofy revenge story. They don't want it. They out.
but there's also kind of the fall of streaming because like before, like back during COVID, Netflix and Peacock and all these places were really, they're just churning out money for content because everyone's at home. But now it's the opposite. Like no one wants to put their film on Netflix or all these places because they're just not paying anything. Like anyone could get their movie on Netflix right now, but you're not gonna like they're not doing anything. Netflix is in debt, like I think like $20 billion. So really, like either Netflix is like they're making their own movies and they're putting gobs of money into that, like Stranger Things and stuff, which is getting 50 million views or whatever an episode. But in terms of like getting stuff on Netflix, that's like
what happens, right? You say, hey, I got Legend of the White Dragon. You put it on there. They say, holy shit, it did so good, Aaron. We need a part 2, a part 3, a part 4. But he doesn't have that. Even without Jason, it's still a bad story. Still a bad story. He's the lead actor. Netflix is putting a ton of money in content. So he can't get his on Netflix. His stuff was rejected. They kicked him out the room. Well, I don't know if they kicked him out, but they was like, no, we're not giving you money.
Like we could put our film up there, but that wouldn't do anything in terms of trying to recoup some of Chris's investment. Our goal now is to go small theatrical, VOD, video on demand, where it's like on iTunes and.
Wait. Is he saying what I said it was always going to do? Let's hear it.
In terms of trying to recoup some of Chris's investment. Our goal now is to go small theatrical, VOD, video on demand, where it's like on iTunes or Apple TV and Amazon Prime and stuff like that. And then DVDs like sold at Walmart and wherever they still sell DVDs and stuff and Blu-rays.
Bro, ain't nobody buying no Legend of the White Dragon DVD and or Blu-ray. That's dead, dog. That's dead. Even the people who got Kickstarters that's guaranteed a DVD or Blu-ray, they like, dog, we don't want that shit. We don't want that. So, but now you see it though. Video on demand and Pluvo or Tubi, some of these streaming services. But the problem is the Kickstarter, right? You already got people complaining about it in the comments section. And you owe 47, I don't know, was it 47.97? I calculated it one day. I literally went through this and added it up. 4,797 backers are not buying Legend of the White Dragon if you put it on video on demand, because they are going to wait for their digital copy. And in truth be told, they should get it at the same time it goes VOD.
So that's kind of like that's where like there's a huge movie that just came out that was starring Pierce Brosnan and Sam Jackson that did the same thing. That's kind of that currently is that's like the framework of what a lot of these movies are doing.
Yeah, when they want Oscar consideration, hey, we got a really good movie. We want Oscar consideration. All right, we need to have a 25-day theater run. And it could be in theaters at the same time that it's out on Netflix. As long as it's in theaters. That's all that matters, right? Hey, we need Oscar consideration.
So that's what we're doing, and we need to find a distributor that can do that nationally and internationally, just because Jason's fan base was...
Hey, why haven't you found one? It's been 7 months. Oh, it's a long process.
Worldwide. So it's just kind of trying to navigate those waters. And like I said, the crazy thing is this stuff changes like week to week, month to month. So it's like, how do you stay on top of to ensure you have the right thing and look forward to the future and guess what it's going to be? But at the same time, like not wait forever to make a deal. Like at some point you're like, you know, like you, me and Chris are talking, like basically we're allowing ourselves to a certain date. And then if that's the date that we just basically say we have to make a deal on that date. And then also like when you talk to distribution, you know, they sometimes set the date for the release date. And now I mean, we've told them, well, the movie has to be released before this month. Like it can't, because sometimes the distribution will take it and they're like, we'll release it in a year. And you're like, oh, no. Like this movie has to be out in like the next 3 months. And you have to allow for enough time for advertising, like P&A, you know. But it's like this, like,
Storage
how do you do that? And that some fans have asked, like, why didn't you go the festival circuit route? And I'm like, well, the festival circuit route is like, takes so much longer. It could work. I mean, that's not a bad idea either.
What do you mean it takes much longer, man? No, the problem is if he went the festival route, he would have got laughed out the room. People would have probably got up and walked out. It was like, this is a how much film? This is for who? Jason David Frank, who's that? People don't know unless they're in our age group, unless there's a Power Ranger fan. So when you look at trying to market Legend of the White Dragon, who are you going to sell it to? Salute to you, George. Appreciate you joining the Resilient Army. Who is going to buy Legend of the White Dragon? Who's going to buy it? All right, we got 4,797 people. They're not buying it. Some of them probably forgot that they are in it. All right. Some probably forgot that they donated to the Kickstarter. They're like, oh, Kickstarter. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. So that's 4,797. Where's the audience for it? Power Ranger audience. You got to market it. You got to create a trailer. You got to create some buzz for it. Currently, the only buzz for Legend of the White Dragon is my coverage. My coverage. There's no trailers coming out. No one's looking forward to interviews. Every now and then he'll post that, hey, such and such went and saw it and it was great. But there's no buzz for it. There's no market for it.
I mean, there's no wrong pathway, but you go there, you do all you do like a year-long festival circuit, and then you try to find distribution, and the distribution could come in and then say, well, they want to wait another 6 months. So like if, you know, because we talked about this, if we went the festival route, you could end up, fans could wait another year and a half to get the movie, and that's not acceptable. The movie has to, like the movie, I want
What do you mean it's not acceptable? You made people wait 3 years. Now it's not acceptable? What's another year and a half? What's another year and a half?
Yeah. Well, I've had to, adjust my patience, so I don't, lose my sanity, because I'm like the fans. I've been wanting to get it out there, just get it out there. But it's up to Chris and his team. And I know
Hey, I think Father slipped up. It's up to Chris and his team. As in Aaron has no say.
Actively, moving right now on some deals with some people.
Right.
Tubi, Pluvo TV, all the freebie sites.
I'm hoping it comes out. We can have some kind of announcement after the new year, like an official announcement with a date.
Yeah.
But we don't have that date right now. But I can say we are working on something.
Oh, actively. I mean, we have 2 meetings with Chris every week, and we talk about that and we go over deals. And we're also actively trying to find different people, because we know people as well. So it's a team effort. I mean, Chris has his, and then we have Scott with Falling Forward Films, who's also like kind of heading that.
Yeah. Basically, if you could find someone silly enough to buy Legend of the White Dragon, send them their way. Send them their way. Hey, we need you to buy it, put it out, put it in get it in theaters. Send 4,798 people a digital copy and or DVD.
But
Yeah.
it's all hands on deck. So we're all trying to like really find the best way to get this out there while still respecting the process and what people want, and making sure the fans and the Kickstarters get what they want. So it's you're trying to honor Jason, the Kickstarter, Chris, all these things, and it's like we're kind of caught in the middle. I mean, we made the movie, and we just want to make sure everyone's happy. Like we did our job. We made the movie. It's really good. Everyone loves it. They say it's got a lot of heart. It has that wonderful 90s nostalgia vibe.
Yeah, it got the 90s nostalgia vibe with the 90s editing and the 90s special effects and the 90s storyline. It's a time capsule.
Which is fantastic. And now it's like we just got to get it out there. But I understand why the fans are frustrated.
And they rightfully, and some of them have been very patient and they understand. And so, for them, I want to thank the ones that have been patient, and for the ones that are, want it now, I can just say,
I know, like when the movie comes out and they see how much Aaron is in there, they're probably gonna be like, wait, I thought this was Jason's last film. Aaron is like, it is. It was really still about him though, wasn't it?
I'm frustrated too. I'm in the same boat with you. I'm also frustrated that this film is not out there right now, but I know it will be, and very soon.
Yeah.
And at this point, the bottom line for me during this whole journey is that the thing that brings it to fruition, that makes it worth it, is that the film is good.
Yeah.
I know, I'm a good judge of film and characters and development. And I looked at the film and I saw all these.
Bro, do not ever take someone's advice on their own movie. All right? Don't ever take someone's advice on their own movie. Like, yeah, man, my movie's good. Like, if it was bad, would you tell us?
Nope.
No, I would tell you it's good. He's a good judge of original music too. Oh, it's more work doing this whole song and dance. This is too much. Yeah, someone commented that. Oh no, some might not be here to see it. Oof.
Parts, loose holes, and miraculously, we over all this time we fixed them all. We fixed them all, and now I'm ready to say, here it is, world. You can see now.
I can't wait for everyone to see it. And I can't wait for people to see.
Because I want to have discussions with them. I want to hear their feedback.
Bro, they gonna sweep this stuff under the rug faster than ever. They're gonna be like, hey, all right, on our next beat down, we got Jason Font, who's only Batman because he could fit the suit. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't know that Font is Batman because the suit was made for someone who was 5'8" and he's 5'8". Spoiler alert.
Like, even things that they were probably disappointed in, but it's real important just to get it out there, and that's what we're actively doing right now.
Yes, and it's just a long time coming, but I understand why the fans are frustrated. I mean, they're so frustrated to the point that they've come up with like conspiracy theories and things that they think of why, like,
Oh, there we go. There we go. Good old conspiracy theories, man.
Actively doing right now.
Yes, and it's just a long time coming, but I understand why the fans are frustrated. I mean, they're so frustrated to the point that they've come up with like conspiracy theories and things that they think of why, like, like never landed on the moon and stuff like that. That it's like, I'm like, it's coming out, guys. I think a lot of them don't understand how much work goes into it, like you said, or the process of distribution. But I can guarantee you that everyone that's seen it loves it. Jenna and Tammy love it.
Yeah, who the hell cares if Jenny and Tammy love it, dog? That's not like some vote of confidence. You give me some non-Power Ranger fan who's like, yeah, man, I love that show. I love that movie. I saw it. It was great. That was great.
So
you think they was gonna come up like, it was all right. It was all right. It was his dad's final send off. It was my husband's final. It was all right. No. Yeah, she said it was better than Marvel. What was she smoking that night?
Rest assured, I promise you it's coming out. We've completed, I don't know how many projects we've completed, over 50 projects that we put online, and
Yeah.
they're all great. We make sure we put everything into them. So I promise you this is the best thing that we've ever done. And I just can't wait for everyone to watch it and be excited.
Here's the thing, man, Nerd Affiliate. It doesn't matter what Aaron says because he could just change his mind at any moment. He could just change his mind. There's zero on the Kickstarter page about distribution. Someone should ask if Superpower Breakdown will also be held up until they get distribution. They can say, hey, we've been approached by a company. They want to do more with this IP, with this beatdown. So we're not going to put it out yet. They gave us some money. We partner with blah, blah, blah. So you'll get the Batman vs. Shredder in June 2027. But donate so we can get Black Ranger versus Black Panther. Someone did ask on the community page. I got to go check it out. He is going to put it on his girl's OF for $90. Could you imagine that? His girl plays April O'Neil. Batman and Shredder fight over April O'Neil on her OF. Buy the exclusive now. Vote to see who gets the banger. Probably, man. Who knows?
Excited about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we've gone online many times, and you've posted many times about the situation we're in and the process of getting this out there.
Yeah.
So this might not be the last time we have to say this to the fans out there.
No, I've had situations where I post every day, and then fans will be like, when are you going to update us about White Dragon? I'm like, I literally just posted about it like an hour ago.
Yeah, but you ain't update your Kickstarter page. Did you? Did you update the Kickstarter page? Because I'm on here, right? Let's see. Let's do it live, guys. Let's see. Maybe you can make me a liar. Update. There has been no update. Well, that's the pin one. November 11th. Meeting with distribution. November. Where's the hey, we just put a video out. Hey, we just put a video out on YouTube with our update. Where's that at? Where's that? It's not even on here. He doesn't come here anymore. It doesn't suit him. Doesn't suit him at all. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, well, there's so many fans. So some of them still haven't been updated or got the update of where we're at. But I understand and I appreciate everyone who's contributed, who's been on this journey with us. In the end, you won't be disappointed.
No, and really, and even the fans that are kind of, intense or even rude, it's really just a sign of how much they're excited about the movie, because you'd rather have this than a movie that no one's asking about. Yeah. So everyone's chomping at the bit for this movie, and that's great.
Well, this film, it has kind of a built-in self-promotion with Jason.
Oh, of course. I've always said Jason is just, he's a role model to so many people.
Bro, it does not have no built-in self-promo. That's cap.
With all the conventions he went to, he had huge lines.
Yeah.
Just huge lines that just went out the door, down the hallway, and outside.
Yeah.
And that was internationally.
Oh,
everywhere he went. So.
Yeah.
So that's why this distribution deal is taking that into account.
Yeah, because people fans will ask that are worldwide, like, is the movie coming here? Is the movie coming here? And sometimes when you talk to distribution,
yeah, it is true. Piggyback on George's 93. Check your DMs, Henry. All right.
They don't distribute the movie in those places. So it's like, well, we've had to kind of navigate and decline different things because no, it needs to get to the fans here, get to the fans here, and it's really I think sometimes people,
bro, he said on I guess his wife's page, for an extra $5 you can get the full Batman April O'Neil Shredder scene with no blur out or hand cuts, total unfiltered. Only on her OF. Oh my goodness. Wonder what Michael Madden's agents would think about this. He was a big time actor and now he's not here to see it. Bet they know about distribution. I think someone told me he's only in there for one scene. That's like less than 30 seconds. So I don't think his people care. If he's in there for one scene for less than 30 seconds, who cares? One scene less than 30 seconds. I don't think they caring too much about it.
People think it's like a one-stop shop, like you're just kind of going
this
through.
Distribution has been a learning process for
holy snap,
both
everybody.
of us.
Oh yeah, of course.
We've
never done that.
Aaron continues to mess up. It's all sound like nag, bish.
Oh, it even has a sound. It goes nag.
Let's go.
I've come to find out that getting a distribution deal is almost as hard as making the film.
That's what one of our colleagues said.
Bro, It's easy to get distribution when you got a good film that there's a solid audience for. It's easy. You have a bidding war. Right now, you're they have to choose which avenue will give them the most ad revenue.
But I can rest assured, fans, The movie is completed. It's great, and it's gonna come out. I promise you.
100%.
100%.
100% promise.
So-
yeah, a lot of our cast and crew has seen it
Yeah.
because they come in from wherever they are, and they said we have it, and they said they want to see it. So we have the privilege of showing it to them. So, but they all love it. Everyone has given it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we watched it with Jenna 2 or 3 times. And one of those times when we watched them in our house, and
I don't give 2 shit what Jenna got to think about this movie. She said this was better than Marvel. She said it was better than Marvel, dog. On the internet live, better than Marvel. She must have never seen a Marvel film, more than likely.
it's just like it was emotional, so emotional for her, especially for her, obviously. But
Now, granted, it probably was emotional for her for the 20 minutes her dad was in there. Sure, I'll give her that.
for a lot of the cast, it's very emotional. I think for a lot of the fans, it'll be emotional just because of how much the movie is.
Bro, I don't care how bad, I don't care how crappy Marvel been. They ain't never put out anything beat down quality. All right. And I think Infantor saw the movie. He said Jason visits Michael Madsen in prison, one scene, and then he's done with the movie. Now, granted, someone put in the comment section that they saw it, and then they deleted the comment. They put they saw it, they proved they saw it, and then they deleted it. And then I get an email about someone seeing the movie. Imagine Marvel marketing their movies like this. Like the director just repeating the film is great. Everyone who's involved is great and loved it. Good Lord. The best marketing I saw for Doomsday was Channing Tatum was like, yo, it's going to make your brain ooze out of your ears. That's what he said. He's like, it's going to make your brain ooze out of your ears. It is what it is. Wait, Quantuma wasn't a beatdown. Hey, thank y'all for the support. I think we got one more until we get to the spoilers, but we like close to it right now.
Really, Jason. I think
we had to stop. We had to stop. She couldn't do any more of it, so we just stopped it.
She has seen the movie 3 or 4 times.
And then that was the first or second time.
It
probably triggered her during the emotional scenes where, like, ain't he like talking about his daughter in there or something? That probably triggered her. That could be triggering. But as far as it being better than Marvel, no.
The 3rd time she watched it first by herself because she was like, I need to watch this by myself.
Yeah.
I can't be around anyone. It's gonna be too much for her, and that's totally understandable because she plays, she's his daughter and plays his daughter. So
Well, look, she's in there 3 scenes. She got 3 scenes. That's total probably less than 2 minutes, I imagine. Because when we get to the spoilers, they break it all down.
it's a lot. And Jenna's great in the movie. She's so good, and it's like it's a weird context. When you watch the movie, her emotion and is so palpable. You think that we almost shot those scenes after his passing, but they're shot before.
Yeah.
There's like a weird kind of like energy in the movie.
When she said it was better than Marvel, she jumped off the script. Even he was like, but he didn't want to say like, oh yeah, slow your roll. He didn't want to say that as he put her out there for the meat shield.
Just because of how it mirrors real life. And but yeah, Jenna loved it.
Oh, notice how they said there will be no premiere for it. There was no announcements of a premiere.
And so did Tammy. They both really liked it. When we sat in the studio when they were doing the final 7.1 mix and watched it with them, and because it's really important. Like, I mean, it's so important for us that Jenna and Tammy liked it, and that it just, because they knew Jason the best, obviously. So
I thought he knew Jason the best. He's switching his story, guys.
They loved it, so that was like, okay, good. But everyone else, though, we're having David Ramsey come over next week, and he's gonna watch it. Excited.
He gonna look when David Ramsey come over to see it. They're gonna take that picture. They're gonna make him make the post and say how good it is, how great the movie is, and how they can't wait for it to come out. It's gonna be plastered all over his Facebook, Instagram. See, he saw it. He loved it. Yay! We can't wait to get it out to you guys. Like, bro, watch, rinse, and repeat.
Excited to hear this. Mark Dacascos watched it and loved it, and Lenore Zan watched it. So very, very excited.
Yeah.
Jason Font's coming by in like 2 weeks. He has to do another Batman fitting, and then he'll watch it. So rest assured, fans, movie's good. You'll like it. I promise you. I promise you. There's no smoke and mirrors going on. It's
bro, you're gonna take the director's advice that you're gonna like the movie. I'm acting in it. I directed it. I edited it. I did some color correction. I did some sound mixing. You're gonna like it. Trust me. Trust me. Trust him. You're gonna like it. Hell no.
it's a huge mountain to climb, but I can't wait to stand up there with all of you and be like,
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
Yeah,
It's
we're on
here.
top of the mountain. We made it. But we're
Bro, this is the same guy who promised you it was coming out in 2024. It's the same guy who promised you it was coming out in 2025. It's the same guy who promised you it was coming out in 2026. At some point, you know, if you fall for it, it's on you, man.
closer than ever.
Yes.
Do you think we'll have an announcement of a date after the New Year sometime?
I would love to have an announcement tomorrow. But I think the goal, especially with Chris, and it's right now it's a difficult time because it's the holidays, so everything
the
slows
holidays
down.
is a bad time for any of this to happen.
I would love to have, because once you agree on a distribution, then you have all the paperwork and the legality, and that takes a while too. Like, it's not like a
The paperwork, the legality.
you know, like, oh, we got it today, it's done, we're moving on to, you know, it's not like that. So I'm hoping that we would have like maybe contracts signed by the beginning of February. Like we land on a place.
Holy shit! By the beginning of February. So look, if you think about it, right? That means you're not getting any announcement in January. He said at beginning of February. You're not going to make any announcement until you have a contract. I know it, you know it. You'll be an idiot. That's what happened with this right here. That's what happened with this right here. Hey, yeah. We getting release date, fall release. Yeah. 25 markets. Yeah. They're not doing that. They'll be a fool. All triggers aside, I'm not letting the daughter get in the way of the actress. It's a huge mountain to climb. Aaron Schoenke. Mate, it was a molehill. You tripped ass backwards over it. The end. True. Let's leave this up, Co. Appreciate you, Co. I know Aaron gets you. Goal achieved. We'll go straight to the spoilers in 2 minutes.
Work and the legality, and that takes a while too. Like, it's not like a, you know, like, oh, we got it today, it's done, we're moving on to, you know, it's not like that. So I'm hoping that we would have like maybe contracts signed by the beginning of February. Like we land on a place like the end of.
So he's hoping for, like, think about this, right? You're not getting it in March. If you're hoping to have a contract signed at the beginning of February, you have to build up some type of buzz unless you're putting it on Tubi. Right? So beginning of February, hoping to having contracts signed, 3 months to build up hype. So February, March, April. So you might get it in May. In May with all the big movies. So you looking maybe at a May release at the earliest if you can get something signed in February. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it come out sooner, right? Then we can get that.
This month or beginning of next month, and we have contracts signed by February. That's, I think, is realistic, and that's what I would like. I can't say it's going to happen because I don't know. And that's
so it could be the beginning of March. It could be the beginning of June. It could be the beginning of December of next year.
the fans like, why don't you know? I'm like, because I don't know. Like, it's kind of an impossible thing to know. And then they set the date, the distribution when it's going to be, because it's also, they can't like lock it in on February 1st and be like, all right, it's out on the 5th, because you have to promote it. You have to do all this sort of stuff. And fans are like, well, why aren't you promoting the movie now? I'm like, well, we don't have a date. We can't promote something without a North Star. I think releasing the film in maybe April.
Guys, when he says North Star, it's basically a stab at Kevin. I tried to explain it to you back in the day. North Star was the first openly gay comic book character. And when he says me and Kevin's North Star didn't align, that's his way of calling him gay. Maybe I'll pull it up, but let's finish this strong a little bit.
Promote it. You have to do all this sort of stuff. And fans are like, well, why aren't you promoting the movie now? I'm like, well, we don't have a date. We can't promote something without a North Star. I think releasing the film in maybe April or May, if we get the deal locked in February, because then we have 3 months to promote the movie,
wow.
and we can release it.
Wow. I didn't watch all this, so I didn't know he was going to say it, but look at me. I know.
April or May, I think is good, but I don't know. I don't deal. That's the thing is I don't deal in that world. I don't know what
yeah, he has no idea, guys. This is first time admitting it. And here's the North Star. So anytime you hear him say, hey, our North Star didn't align, he's just calling Kevin gay. North Star, the character is one of the first openly gay superheroes in America comic books. There you go. It's an X-Man. There you go. Fun fact. It's a comic book nerd thing.
Because there's all these metrics and numbers that'll tell you what day is better, what day is not better. This week's better, this week's not. So that's what I would like. Like I said, I would like it right away, but sooner the better. The movie's been done since the middle of July.
Middle of July. I love that we got him saying the movie's been done since the middle of July, and they're just trying to take distribution or whatever goofy stuff they're trying to convince y'all of. That, hey, we're just now getting meetings. We're just now getting ideas. No, like there's nothing. There was nothing on the table. There were no offers. No good offers. Tubi said they'll take it tomorrow. Tubi still would take it tomorrow. But Ko is right. Ko said it'll probably end up on Tubi. And that's what we want to see.
There you go, fans. That's the update on White Dragon. We'll probably have to do a lot more of these and answer more questions because people like to speculate and all this kind of stuff. But
there you go, guys. There was no update. No update. Deleted pending for on that Postmate. Let's see. Did you update it? Did you say something crazy? Oh, there is no update. Wait, did he snipe you? No, he didn't snipe you. He didn't snipe you. Not yet. But there you go. No update for Legend of the White Dragon. Let me know what you think in the comment section. See you in the next video. Peace.